111. Photos of Zhao Lusi's latest event have gone viral. She is short and fat without a P, and is enmity with the photographer. Zhao Lusi is a very popular little girl in the entertainment industry this year. After the two dramas The Rumored Chankayankian and I Like You were aired, Zhao Lusi successfully counteracted from an unknown young actor and became a famous actor in the entertainment industry. Fragrant pastry is indeed very powerful. But now that her popularity has increased, her resources in various aspects have become much better. Now she is the favorite of many directors and producers, and is also the darling of many fashion brands. After Zhao Lusi became popular this year, the editor discovered that Zhao Lusi now often attends events. Photos of Zhao Lusi's latest activities spread online. Recently, Zhao Lusi participated in a brand event. On the same day, she went to a shopping mall in Shanghai to promote a certain brand, and many Reuters pictures appeared online. The birth pictures of her latest activities were circulated on the internet, and the editor quickly went to see them this time to see what Zhao Lusi looked like in the birth pictures. The first thing the editor saw were her raw pictures that only took pictures of her upper body. Judging from these pictures, Zhao Lusi is quite beautiful. She wore a light green figure-flattering skirt that day, put on a white cardigan sweater, tied her hair up with a bow. This look is sweet and cute with a little bit of fashion. It looks great. Under the photographer's lens, she greeted everyone and showed a sweet smile. She was just a cute little fairy. Just seeing these photos of the upper body, I believe many people think that Zhao Lusi's birth photos this time are very impressive. But this is not actually the case. This time when the editor saw Zhao Lusi's full body photo, he immediately felt that it was hard to describe. Zhao Lusi's figure, which has never been photographed, is a bit miserable and looks very short and fat. A wave of full-body photos of Zhao Lusi have been circulated on the internet. In this set of photos, Zhao Lusi's figure is a bit obtuse. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this picture first. In this picture, Zhao Lusi is standing with her legs spread wide and her eyes are looking towards the camera. Zhao Lusi's figure in this picture is a bit too real. Her upper body looks quite thin, but her lower body looks very fat, and her legs are thick and short. Zhao Lusi wore a short skirt that day. She did not match it with high heels. Instead, she put on a pair of white sneakers. The shoes were a bit bulky. After putting them on her feet this time, Zhao Lusi looked fatter and stronger. This time, among the photos that have never been edited, Zhao Lusi is short and fat. This figure is really a bit unflattering. This photo of Zhao Lusi can be described as a car accident scene. The editor also knows that Zhao Lusi is not tall anymore. She is only 160 centimeters tall, so the figure in the photos will be less advantageous. But this time, after seeing this wave of photos of Zhao Lusi, the editor is still shocked. How can the height of this photo be 1.6 meters? I feel like I'm only 1.5 meters tall. Zhao Lusi was photographed measuring 1.5 meters tall. Did she offend the photographer? When seeing such a situation, the editor really wanted to ask, Zhao Lusi, are you enemies with the photographer? How could the photographer achieve the effect of 1.5 meters? Zhao Lusi offended the photographer this time. Judging from these photos, we can actually find that Zhao Lusi's short and fat has a lot to do with the shooting angle. These pictures seem to have been taken without finding a good angle. It felt like this wave of pictures was just to hack her, and Zhao Lusi was also a little miserable. It seems that female stars really can offend their stylists and photographers, otherwise there will be endless troubles. This time after looking at Zhao Lusi's raw pictures, the editor also went to take a look at the pictures sent by Zhao Lusi's studio, and found that the difference between pictures with photoshopped pictures and pictures without photoshopped pictures is really huge. In the pictures sent by the studio, Zhao Lusi is thin and tall, and her legs are very beautiful. But the pictures on the internet are so terrible that Zhao Lusi must be at a loss this time. So what do you think? What do you think after reading the article? Welcome to leave a message to the editor below. When a spy drama doesn't talk about love, it only focuses on career. If life has such great ups and downs, no one else can. When you predict that a stock will rise sharply, tell your landlord quickly. But as soon as the landlord invested the money, he encountered dealers who lowered the stock price and lost all his money. The landlord is chasing you all night, and you have to attend a life-changing corporate interview. Unexpectedly, the entire written examination venue is full of related households, and only you have to answer the questions cuckoo. When the exam is about to end, the exam room suddenly catches fire. You have to save both your job and your life. And when you successfully completed these tasks, you realized that the so-called fire was actually a stress test, and you were the only player to pass the test. Just when you are complacent about getting an offer from a company, someone says that your family has a grudge against the company and tells you to get out. Who can withstand the gears of fate spinning like this? The above clip comes from the recently hit Republican spy drama Storm Chaser. This is another spy drama with the word ZHE in it. I wonder if you can distinguish between the pretender, the lurker, the rebel, the stalker, the forerunner, the chaser and the storm chaser. Most spy dramas are set in big cities such as Shanghai in the 1930s and 1940s, and tell how underground party organizations deal with various forces. The main highlights are the characterization of the group portraits, the battle of wits between different forces, and the portrayal of the protagonist's emotional line. After watching the first 10 episodes of Storm Chaser, I can only make a simple judgment. At least in the field of spy warfare, it is a qualified work. It's not strictly logical or hardcore, but it's not a problem to treat it as a fun drama. Please let me tell you which audience it is suitable for. The background of the story is Shanghai in 1930. Shen Tunan, played by Wang Yang, is sent to Shanghai by the Nanjing government as a senior advisor to prepare to revitalize the central bank in this financial center. However, the financial market at that time was dominated by capital giants. If the central bank wanted to grow bigger, it would inevitably steal the shares of other commercial banks. Destroying someone's wealth is like killing one's parents, so Shen Tunan was assassinated one after another as soon as he took up his post in Shanghai. In response, Shen Tunan gave an order and his funds began to operate, directly driving down the stock price of commercial bank. This behavior indirectly deceived the male protagonist of the show, Wei Rule. Wei Rule is a genius who was born in poverty. He came to Shanghai with his brother to work hard, but his brother disappeared a few years ago. After that, he studied accounting at night school in Shanghai while working part-time. Relying on his excellent memory, he is not only proficient in auditing and other tasks, but also has considerable insight in the financial field. The landlady often listened to his advice and bought stocks and made a lot of money. Unexpectedly, Shen Tunan suppressed the share price of commercial bank, causing the landlord's aunt to suffer huge losses, and then vented his anger on Wei Rule. But Wei Rule didn't hold any grudge against Shen Tunan. On the contrary, he felt that his opportunity had come. Shen Tunan wanted to develop industry by rectifying the central bank, strengthen the country and benefit ordinary people. One of his top 3 priorities when taking office is to recruit a group of new people with ideals and beliefs to the central bank. Wei Rule came to see this opportunity and decided to sign up. Among the many tests set by Shen Tunan, he was the only one who showed a calm mind and a sense of responsibility. Both the written test results and the on-site test were excellent. But in the end he lost. One is because Wei Rule was from Jian, Jiangxi province, and at that time, Jiangxi was one of the main areas where the CCP was active. In the central bank system, Jiangxi people were not qualified for political review. The second reason is that at this time, Wei Rule wanted to join the central bank mainly to get a decent salary. What Shen Tunan wants is a sharp knife for reform, a person with ideals and enthusiasm. It was originally a sad thing to miss out on the job of his dreams, but there was an expert in the alley where Wei Rule lived, and he suddenly became enlightened after a few words of advice. Not only did he figure out what Shen Tunan needed, he even analyzed Shen Tunan's true intentions through the existing data. He wants to control several larger commercial banks through financial warfare so as to expand the central bank's funds and influence. After figuring it out, Wei Rule sneaked into the Shen family and, with the help of Shen Tunan's sister Shen Jinzhen, showed his value and goals to Shen Tunan again. In the end, Wei was accepted as an assistant by Shen Tunan for training. And why did Shen's sister Shen Jinzhen help Wei Rule? This is about the spy front of this show. Shen Jinzhen is a talent who returned from overseas. She is a socialite at home and a technical boss in the arsenal when away from home. But secretly, she is an underground party member in Shanghai, a heroine who is proficient in sniping, assassination, and intelligence gathering. Because of the rebellion of an underground party member named Gu, the underground party organizations in Shanghai were greatly damaged. Shen Jinzhen ambushed the escort convoy in order to save his captured comrades. Unexpectedly, the other party's agents had been prepared and were counter-ambushed. Miss Shen, who was sniping from a distance, was also shot. By chance, she met Wei Rule and escaped with his help. The screenwriter was somewhat deliberate here, and it is understandable that Shen Jinzhen asked Wei Rule to help him in a hurry. But after he was out of danger, he just said that he owed Wei Rule a favor and let him go, without worrying about whether his identity would be leaked. At this time, the Soviet area sent a special commissioner codenamed Lone Star to Shanghai with a certificate for withdrawing gold, preparing to withdraw gold from the bank to bail out other underground parties imprisoned in the concession. However, he did not expect that the first underground party member he contacted, Li Shangda, had just rebelled under the torture of the Kuomintang spy chief Lin Kaiyasong. Lone Star was ambushed by Lin Kaiyasong's men as soon as he arrived in Shanghai, and he hid in Wei Rulei's house while being seriously injured. This Lone Star was Wei Rulei's brother who disappeared many years ago. He used his last strength to tell his brother the relevant information and asked him to hand over the certificate for withdrawing gold to the underground party. Wei Ruolei, who had just joined the central bank, buried his brother in tears, and then followed his brother's instructions to publish a coded message in the newspaper and invite underground parties to meet at the central bank. Two forces, Shen Jinzhen and Lin Kaiyasong, came one after another, and no one could tell who was the enemy and who was the bait. The spies sent the rebellious Li Shangda to pretend to be an underground party, and took the initiative to find Wei Ruolei to gain trust and obtain the relevant certificates for withdrawing gold. I thought that the communists would definitely be caught this time, but I didn't expect that everything suddenly changed. The traitor Li Shangda also had second thoughts about the spies, and secretly took out the gold in the bank to make money. Lin Kaiyasong suspected that Wei Ruolei was a communist, but he did not expect that after Wei Ruolei handed the certificate to Li Shangda, he changed hands and reported to the police that he was a communist. He also anonymously wrote a surrender letter to the police station, perfectly clearing himself. In addition, there is a big boss like Shen Tunan as a guarantee, so he is very safe. Behind all this, thanks to Xuan Yuo, the scheming underground party leader. Because Shen Jinzhen's many activities had attracted the attention of the spies, Lao Su decided to take action personally. He asked Wei Ruolei to hand over the gold withdrawal certificate to Li Shangda. Then he ambushed Wei Ruolei on the only way to escape. He not only cleared Wei Ruolei, but also took away the gold and eliminated the traitors. It was like killing 3 birds with 1 stone. However, this does not mean that Wei Ruochen can escape from this. He will be targeted by Lin Songkeo, a mad dog, and will definitely be involved in the struggle on the hidden front in the future. And it was impossible for him and Shen Tunan to improve the world through the central bank, because the poor state's economy was rooted in the Nanjing government and the 4 major families. Sooner or later, Wei Ruolei will realize that the government is about to end, and finally when we unite as one, we will suddenly feel that the world is wider. Judging from the stories in the first few episodes, the advantages and disadvantages of Storm Chaser are obvious. The shortcomings are mainly concentrated in the fact that the character of the protagonist is somewhat distorted and the aura is too heavy. For example, the plot assumes that Wei Ruolei was born in poverty, and those who can grow from poverty to pillars of talent will all experience pain during the growth process, and they will all be human beings. However, there is a lack of portrayal of Wei Ruolei's past growth experience in the play, and his behavior is not low-level at all. Whether it is his natural political stance or the way he behaves, he is more like a down-and-out aristocratic young master. Compared with the deeds of the real red financiers in history, Wei Ruolei is still a cool template character. In fact, this is still an old problem of domestic scripts. The screenwriter lacks understanding of the bottom layer, causing the characters to be a little suspended, even a bit unnatural. For example, in order to show Wei Ruolei's calmness in a critical moment, the screenwriter asked him to insist on writing the last question even though he knew that there was a fire in the examination room. It was too deliberate and everyone must not study. When you actually face a fire, you must respond as soon as possible. 1 second may save a life. In addition, the play also has the shortcomings of flat characters and insufficient plot logic. However, if you only look at Storm Chaser as a fun drama, these shortcomings become advantages. For example, the story is fast-paced, there are no protracted emotional dramas, and the protagonists are focused on their careers. Although Lin Kaiyasong, the villain, has some love-mindedness, he really has a crush on Shen Jin mainly because he wants to get on the big ship of Shen Tunan. This character has some intelligence but not completely. He will still doubt the goddess when he should. If you watch it as a cool drama, many useless scenes have become highlights. The most obvious sign is the tit-for-tat financial war between Shen Tunan and commercial bank capital tycoon Yu Shiking. The two sides competed to manipulate the stock price to suppress the other side, using all kinds of tactics. When both parties could no longer fight, Shen Tunan called and threatened Yu Shiking, saying that he had leverage against him and forcing him to surrender. In fact, Shen Tunan didn't have to fight this battle at all. He could win just by relying on off-board moves. This scene was completely useless. But the director used audio-visual language to make it as exciting as a real battle, so this scene became a bonus. Because many of the viewers who watched the dramas of the Republic of China do not come for the rigorous plot logic, but watch them as soap operas for fun. It can be seen from this that the director has two skills in creating atmosphere. Use less forward and reverse shots and more long, moving shots to show the characters' positions and movements. It can also be seen from the composition of the picture that this drama is definitely not a shoddy product. So overall, this Wind Chaser is a qualified work. It may not be as good as The Pretender in terms of coolness, not as good as The Conspiracy in terms of rigorous plot, not as good as Insidious in terms of characterization, and definitely not as good as Big Time in terms of finance. However, based on the mentality of having fun and the need to eat, this Wind Chaser is enough to be followed for a while. Which one is the best spy drama in your opinion? Please give it a like and share it in the comment area. See you tomorrow. Say goodbye. The pictures in this article come from the internet. Editor, Elkanes. I'm taking care of my liver. Audience, please click and leave.